I know we were speaking about Floyd. So, a fighter that's under like you mentioned, a fighter who Floyd helped to propel his career, who's the cash cow in the sport, probably the biggest boxer besides Canelo. So it's debatable about who's the biggest, but not on duty. But you have Gervonta Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. What you think about that fight? What's your prediction for that?
Tank should blow right through him. I like Frank Martin, and I'm thankful he's getting the opportunity to shine. I want to see him do good, and he'll make some paper. And if he do outstanding, he'll do numbers
and get more fights.
And do numbers or a rematch. I don't really see him beating Tank, right? But I do see him fighting hard and doing an outstanding performance. So he ain't just going in there laying down.
Do you think he'll get knocked out? Think he's gonna get stopped?
I mean, it's possible. Maybe. I mean, Tank is dangerous on the inside. He's lethal in both hands. But I mean, maybe possibly like to a body shot. I don't really see it to the chin and nothing.
He stopped Mario Barrios with a body shot. He stopped Ryan Garcia with a body shot. Quaylar as well, I believe, with a body shot. So Tank
dangerous in the body.
He's dangerous from like round 1 through 12.
Yeah. He has that one punch ability.
Yeah,
and that's one thing that I do respect about him.
What do you think Martin can do to offset with Tank?
Momentum, punches and bunches, and off rhythm punches. So if you catch him off rhythm, right in the same time he's punching, he can really offset his whole rhythm, his balance, parrying the punches, moving them out the way. As soon as he jabbing, you parrying back, and and as soon as he thinking he gonna fire, you hitting him with a bunch of bop, 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 bop. Who was really skilled in that. That's what his whole level of fighting was. That was Pacquiao.
Yeah,
Pacquiao level. He was very fast, right? But his off rhythm boxing was really.
He was real awkward too, and it was hard to really time.
Yeah.
Only person I've seen time, what's called time, the Marquez time when he knocked him out. He timed it perfectly. Yeah,
that was only one time.
Yeah, but I never really seen nobody really. Floyd was timing him, and catching him, but still he's a little older at that time. They were both.
And the reason why, because they had tapes of him fighting off that rhythm, and that's the only reason why they trained for that. And that was later on in his career when he got stopped like that because he hadn't changed.
Yeah, he actually was winning that fight too. I thought he was gonna knock Marquez out until he got caught.
Yeah.
So, another few things I want to speak about. We're just speaking about the Frank Martin. So I'm assuming you're picking Tank to win that fight.
For now, yes.
Now, outside of that, what do you see next for Tank? Do you see Tank fighting Shakur? Do you see Tank fighting? Who do you think will be an ideal fight, or a fight that you may want to see after the Martin fight?
Yeah, I want to see him fight Shakur. I mean, he should. But I don't know. Shakur just really trying to sell fights at this point. I mean, he really disappointed a lot of people with his last performance.
Yeah.
They didn't really. He has all the talent in the world, but he's boring to watch. When you got that blemish on you and you just ran and all that and everything, like you just kind of ran away the money. Yeah. We like him, but you ain't selling nothing. And at the end of the day, right, we not buying in on the pay-per-view.
Do you think he beats Tank? Like if you had to choose,
Speed.
And you had to bet.
I think
bet your money.
Out of all of those ones that's in that weight class, Shakur is by far the most skilled one.
But right? Do you think if you were betting and you had to put your money on one fighter, whether it was Shakur or whether it was Tank, who would you put your money on?
Let's say it like this: if Shakur boxes him, he beats him all night, right? Tank cuts the ring off and engages and makes it a brawl. Tank beats him. stops him, or cuts him up, right?
Yeah.
Shakur's just like he won the last title, and he got hurt, but he can outbox you.
Yeah.
He has cat-like reflexes. Not saying Tank does it, but Tank has to get set to punch. And that's the dangerous thing. That's why he's so lethal. He has to get set to punch. And when you set to punch, Oscar was like that. Oscar set to punch. Later on, when he got with Floyd's dad, he learned how to move and fight off.
But Tank, seeing Tank stop, what you call that? Stepping back. He knocked out Rolly Romero, and he wasn't set. He was getting out of the way of punches and threw the left hook and caught Rolly Romero. So
he knocked out Barrows the same way off the set. Ooh, wow. Right. So if Shakur is in the corner, or he has him set right off a rhythm, he knocks Shakur out or cuts Shakur, and then they wave it off. Right? Shakur is not going to engage. I don't care what anybody say.
He's not going to engage with Tank.
He's not going to engage. He's going to outbox him. And why should I? If I got the speed and my jab and my movement, I could beat you all night. I could beat you eyes closed.
But you just think he can avoid getting hit because somebody who is as skilled as, because Tank, when you speak to I spoke to a lot of coaches and a lot of people that watched him in the amateurs and a lot of people that seen him coming up. They say that Tank is actually a better boxer than people think. They say that he really has the boxing ability. He said he just didn't he didn't have to show it because he's getting these guys out of there.
Yeah, and that's what the people want to see. They don't want to see dog boxing.
And that's why he's probably the cash cow.
Early on in my career, I was knocking these kids out, right? And then I started listening to the critics. It's funny you just say that. I got knockout ability in both hands, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm reading the press clippings and the interviews, and everybody's saying, well, he can punch real well, but can he box? I come up as a boxer. I've learned that in the Sweet Pea. So then I started trying to box, and then I realized, bam, I got a loss. I got a draw.
Yeah.
Then I got a loss, and I'm like, damn, they got me. Not in that way, because then they gave you the choices of the judges, and that's one of the worst feelings in the world.
So you probably,
I would never put it in the judges.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you out. And now you see why Tank has that mentality. So I'm gonna get you up out of here.
Yeah, it's like, damn it, why I ever listen to them? Because I got the ability. I could punch. I know I can punch, and when I hit you, I'm gonna hurt you. I felt it. I knew it. And then I'm listening to these guys. No, we're gonna box. Let me box these guys. I'm like, yo, that's their skill. I was blessed with punching power in both hands. So, like, why go over there with speed? Some people, most of them fighters that have quick speed, they don't have punching power. You know.
Let me kind of, because you speak about Shakur and his ability. What do you think about Shakur possibly leaving Top Rank and there's rumors that he's going to go with Floyd. They saying that they don't support black fighters. But
I wouldn't have never signed with no Top Rank ever, and outside of Bob, and I knew Carl Moretti, I know Bob. I wouldn't have never ever.
Because if you think about it, what African American fighter do they really?
Never. They never respected us,
and that's why Floyd left him.
Anthony Thompson was from Philadelphia. He was signed to Top Rank. It was only Anthony Thompson and Floyd. And me and Anthony was real tight. And I would hear stories. And then I was tight with Floyd and hear stories. And they never respected it. And they was going over there, and they both had the same manager. They had Jay Prince.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo,
what do you think it'll mean for Shakur to sign with Floyd? Do you think that'll be he start getting paid? Because this is the rumors that's out there. He's possibly going to be signing to.
Of course, I would have, and it's a little different now because the lights is on Floyd, and like, look, sometimes we need that. We need the lights put on you so you can be honest.
Yeah.
'Cause when it's in the dark, you can hide. And everybody said it offline. Yo, man, Floyd treating people bad. Crumbs. Now he has to, monitor his behavior because they're familiar with that type of behavior that you displaying.
Yeah, because it's people are possibly saying this.
Yeah, they saying you're a creep. You always been, a creep when it gets the money. You're a creep. You know what I'm saying? And they like, yo, you don't treat people well. You got the money, but you flash it. And it's a million people out there like that in this world. They got the money, they show, but you're a one-trick pony. Because after the light, what you have? So you constantly chasing the light. So that's why you're doing exhibitions and everything. 50 said it, about 8 years ago. And then I'm close with 50, and 50 would have conversations offline. And one day he was like, yo, Floyd broke. What are you talking about? Like, no, I'm arguing. I don't understand it. And as he broke down some of the characteristics of him, I was like, whoa. I seen it with his dad. I saw it with his, his uncles, And I'm not a Floyd hater. I've always, admired him outside of, like, in the ring. Yeah, but sometimes you can be just a skillful fighter, but outside of that, you're very shallow.
Yeah. Well, me personally, I met Floyd in Vegas, and he was real hospitable. You know what I'm saying?
He was humble.
He was a real conversation. Showing he was real like open to speak. So I don't know the business aspect of what's going on, but hopefully they'll get that together as far as Floyd figuring it out, or whatever's going on with those fighters. But another thing I wanted to speak about as we move on is we just had issue with Ryan Garcia testing positive. Both his A and B sample came back positive for ostarine, which is a banned substance.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? How do you feel about?
I don't know, man. It's been so crazy. Like, yo, 1 minute they calling it, next minute they not calling it, next minute, to a point where you kind of threw off. And then, like, I understand, like, yo, it's now nobody really cares. And even he not even like, yo, care. Like, yo, if it was, I beat you. And they like, oh, I think it's the fact more so of him beating Devin like that. And Devin was believed to be like, yo,
the next heir apparent, possibly the Floyd.
Cash cow, I don't want to have no loss. So they pushing it in that way,
So I'll now with the loss to Devin Haney and all these accusations about steroid use and from possible against Ryan Garcia. What do you think is next for Dev? What do you think he does? Does he fight again? Take time off? What would you recommend, or what do you think is going to happen?
Of course. I mean, but like his team is smart. They're doing their job to keep him in the media. He's been in the media and the way social media and the regular media. That's the PR team. They keeping him active, behind the scenes, and his name is constantly being mentioned. So he can recover. He's resting. And then it'll be like yesterday. Like he right back in the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't get knocked out. They didn't stop the fight.
No, they didn't.
He went the distance.
Do you think they should have stopped the fight or no? Because of the damage he took a
yeah. So
lot,
he gonna need
damage.
some time. He gonna need some time. But I'm kind of like optimistic in seeing him before the end of the year. I believe he should be. He'll be back. He'll fight.
You think he's going to fight this year?
Yeah, probably by December.
Wow. I would like to see him take more time off, but I don't know. You never know with these.
Yeah, they're going to keep it
with these fighters. So before we wrap it up, it's got to speak about something. Outside of Philadelphia, where do you think the best fighters come from? Like, where if you had to choose another city, another location, wherever it is, where do you think outside of Philadelphia?
We seeing these kids. What's them? The Madison brothers, like they from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Dayton, Ohio, one of them, but they tough. Okay. And then we seen Davis, what's that? Kwan Davis, what's his name? From Virginia, he's from
Keyshawn
Davis. Mm-hmm. And we hadn't had nobody from Virginia since Sweet Pea, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then we have, Detroit was always one of the top ones, right? Detroit, Michigan, right? Yeah, that's Detroit, of course. And then I felt like, of course, LA, right? Yeah. And then I feel like Chicago, right? At one point in time, they was really rough, right? And then, shit, man. I mean, Philly I feel like Philly and around this area, we got DC, and that's all tri-state that goes all the way towards Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So New York, DC, Philly, they tri-state because most of the time we run right into each other. Nationals and different things, Golden Gloves, we all come up in that same regional. Mm-hmm. And then the next region would be like Virginia and all that. But then you got Pittsburgh, like they got different kids that come out. So we got little pockets where it's so unique the way this internet works. Now these kids are sprouting up from all over, man.
Yeah, it's like that with anything. Like, once these phones and this access to the social media, these fighters are somebody before they even test it. It's like you might see a fighter on Instagram. He has, just look at the guys, the Paul brothers. They're like.
But I was more or less thinking about like shit, Omaha, like Crawford. Like, yeah, Crawford was mean. And even like, Spence. See, all these guys come up in the amateurs. I got footage from them early on. Mm-hmm. They've been around. They've been in the amateurs, come up under them. And these guys been really putting on. Most of these kids just didn't come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
They've really honed on these skills and kept going and worked till they got here and the big names right now, right?
Okay. Yeah. So, the boxing world is a real interesting world. We have, it's a lot of fighters who haven't been tested, a lot of fighters who have names, and we just want to see the best fight the best. We want to see them.
Now I feel like it's getting to that now. Like I respect what's going on, and that's what I was speaking about with the Ryan Garcia thing. Like early on, they would have a lot of match fights, and I don't want to see that, and it was just like trash.
Yeah.
Now it's getting back to the old throwback fights, and they fighting each other, and they got to get it on. Mm-hmm. And that's what I respect about Crawford. Crawford had to go make a way out of no way, and they was like, look, man, they wasn't going to give him the fights, top rank. He brought his way out of the contract. He parted ways, and then he was like, yo, I'm going to bet on myself, and he did.
Yeah.
And now he got the control, he got the ball, and they was like, yo, Canelo, he saw that. He got away from Oscar.
Yeah.
He went on and brought his way. All of them is learning in terms of just not being yes. I see that, Benavidez,
yeah.
Yeah, they all getting away from, Billionaire Bob. They don't want to, come on, man, they the old way. Nobody don't want to work like that. I was surprised to see Shushu over there, man.
Yeah, Shushu got that fight coming. He's fighting Viva this week. So,
the network though. I mean,
yeah, you got to take your bumps and your bruises, in the game to kind of get, get the recognition. And Shushu, like you mentioned, Shushu, he's up there. He's ranked. He's number 4 with the WBL.
He's definitely a star.
Number 7 with the WBC and number 12 with the IBF. 11-0. 7 knockouts. He fights this weekend. He fights Viva. So I think he's going to. He's fighting Viva's game too. He's 23-3 and 12 knockouts. So Shout out to Shushu. Shushu. So, you know, where can people follow you? Where can people find you? And you know, if they want to reach out to you, and how can they get in contact with you?
One Punch Carr on the Instagram. My name is Simon One Punch Carr for those that don't know. And been around, fighter. Been fighting all my life. Olympic hopeful. Pro career. You know, professional trainer. Own a boxing gym called One Punch. And, you know, you can follow me on Instagram under One Punch Carr. Mr. Everywhere on Instagram. And then we got a gym called One Punch named after me.
Okay. Cool. And then also remember, everyone, so if you ever want to hit us up on Instagram at TBISE.
Only Pete Crack. I'm live in the building with my brother Hollow Man. Here to check out the new clothing line, all the new fly stuff he got for the summer. I know he well known for like custom making stuff, you know, one-on-one type of vibe. That's really what I came here for, but I bumped into a sweatsuit. I'm a sweatsuit North Philly type of kid. This is my favorite color, so that's what we doing today. But definitely got a lot of stuff coming up this summer, a lot of music, a lot of visuals, and I'm gonna need his hand in it, you know what I mean? Custom made stuff, one-on-one, nothing off the rack. Hollow Man, I need you, baby, let's go. Ring.